Okay, I guess I am live for the first time. Highlight, record, mobile previews. I'm trying to flip it around. So maybe you see what I'm doing? Rotate. I don't know. Okay, so nowadays, right now, it doesn't even make sense if I can't get a screenshot. Or maybe, okay, I might need to look up how to do screen share rather than look at me, because I know I'm beautiful, but who came to see me? Anyways, what we're doing is we're trying to solve a black hole problem. I have a character in my Unreal game who shoots black holes. And we got some things to fix on it. I've never done this before, so I need to figure out how to make it screen share rather than show the camera. Yeah, okay. How would I do this? Camera. Add source. That's locked. Window capture. Ooh, let me know if you can see it. Can anybody see Unreal? All this ridiculous event horizon overlap logic. Can anyone see this? Okay, I think the first thing I need to do before settings, apply. Oh, I think that's it. Yeah, let's see if I zoom out. Can it be seen? Yeah. Okay. So what we have is a black hole problem. Let's get into it. So that thing is, I should probably turn the music down. Anyways, create a black hole. Okay, that's the first problem. We can fix that. We just need this tag to work. We have water plane tag on the water plane. Why it's still destroying it, that is a problem for another day. Because G's on P's. Okay. So, we have these towers. Of course, dude can fly. What we need to happen is we need it to eat everything that it touches. it's not eating things properly. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Have no clue why. I don't even know if this thing is working. Can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? I think so. It's the microphone's going up. Anyways, we need to figure out why the black hole only works sometimes. We're going to jump into this. So, the first things first. The black hole, we had all the logic on here. I unplugged it because these timelines can only do one actor at a time. Shrink actor, crush actor. So what I built, is a proxy that our black hole will spawn. We're going to spawn this shrink hole proxy, and it's going to do the work for us. Because we want each actor to shrink and be absorbed. Why it's not working, who knows? Only Jesus. So let's look at this problem. The biggest problem is that it's eating the floor, the water. It should have a tag to where it doesn't. We'll save that for another time. These two are the closest. And it doesn't shrink, which is very odd. It's very odd because if I do it with these, I don't get that. I don't really understand that. I don't understand why it's choosing to eat up some things and not the others. These are all just copies of themselves. This is probably a problem I need to think through on my own instead of going live and embarrassing myself. But it does seem to work. Just not for these two towers. And I believe, actually, I don't believe nothing. I have no clue. No clue whatsoever. So let's look at this. Let's see how it acts. Let's do a little debugging. So, come up here. Spawn proxy, you're going to be able to see what exactly is happening. You can't do right. So, and I really think I know what it is. So no more tower. It ate it up. It works. And it's a comic book, guys. You know, the poof and when you punch people, it says power and whatnot. But see, that's the thing. It eats that tower. And I know we have a do once node. We have this do once. This actor should be spawned every single time. So each time it's spawned, it should do once. So let's see why exactly. Let's at least try to figure out why it's only picking and choosing the actors. I know it's a lot going on in the background. It's a whole battlefield. Dope. Let's see if it eats this. Crazy thing, it ate both of them. There's no more two towers. It seems to work, but sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. I might have to think this through. I have to use some of that brain juice. Okay, let's try this. Good test. See, I wanted to hit that one. These are our debug lines, and it never hit this tower. Therefore, we never can test out. But over here, it ate both of those towers. It's pretty decent. It's a pretty decent, you know. Now this is a press 7, water, blah blah blah. That's user interface. This is a anti-gravitational field, so that's another thing I need to fix. Yeah, I'm dead because the black hole actually is so effective. The black hole is so effective that it'll eat the character. I think I need to put on the proxy. Okay, yeah. Probably just get player character. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So also if it doesn't eat, if the overlapping character to the sphere is not the player character, then we don't want any of this to happen. We don't want to shrink the actor or gravitate towards the center, because it doesn't make much sense for, you know, the character to kill himself. You know, that's like Johnny from Fantastic Four burning up alive because he's using his powers. So we don't want the player character to be affected by the sphere overlap. Also, another thing that's probably happening is these things shooting from these ships. Rotating, they might hit the black hole, and then the black hole goes off, so we're working that too. But yeah, this thing right here is anti-gravitational. One thing I love about coding, you are required to come up with creative solutions to problems. What I think is happening is I'm colliding with this actor. This whole thing's an actor. I'll show you guys real soon. But I really don't know why it does that, but let's just go to the demonstration. Oh yeah, there it is. I guess you just can't see it because it's it shouldn't be a trigger box. It should actually be on the actor, but I guess I put it on a trigger box. That's not good. We want everything that is part of the logic to be on the actor. I'm not really worried about that right now because that's an easy fix. I want to get the black hole to work properly. And I definitely don't want it to destroy the water. So, let's see how it goes. To be working damn near properly. It took both of those out, but also it took the floor out. See, if I stop flying, I'll just fall forever.
We need you have to take down the force field.
Now, if you fall too far, if you try to go out the bounds, of course, then there's, you know, there's a trigger box. You can't go too far out the level.
We need you here, and you have to take down the force field.
I don't know. It just seems like the black hole is working. It ate up both of those towers. Let's see how it does with these two towers, because these are the ones that seem to not really work properly. Let's see what we can get out of it. Let's hit it right here. So it hits maybe it is working pretty damn good. I don't know. It's pretty damn good. Oh, these are my spawners. I created these. So these spawners, you can change the length of where they spawn at this spawner. This black hole thing is not a part of it. It's just special effects to make it look good. Battalion, you can change the team, you can change what they do, advance, attack, defend, God ink, spawn amount. Let's put 3 on both of them. Sorry guys, I know I'm a little off cancer. I've never done this before, but okay. We're gonna loop spawning and spawn interval 1 second. Let's make that 3. Because my computer's not the greatest. Spawn timer amount. Every 3 seconds it's going to spawn 3 more. Yeah, this is all from a game jam, which are awesome. We're going to make this one too. We're going to make it spawn 3 more. So let's drop and see the war zone that we're creating. Look at that. Look at them spawners. They coming to get it. Ain't playing, but we're gonna turn that back off because when you're trying to create a game, you don't want all that ragamaroo going on. It just bogs your computer down. So I feel like the black hole actually does work. It could look better as far as animation, but I definitely am not going to worry about that right now because I'm a coder and not an artist. I mean, I am an artist, but still in the business. So that basically hit an invisible line. Hit this actor. Let's try it again while we're already overlapped. Yeah, so basically that has a tag that's force field. And I have it all on this ore, so it's not going through the motions and destroying, because I want it to be different. Basically to destroy the, I don't know why the sound stops working. Either way, I want him to cause a tidal wave. You have to read the comic, and you can create a tidal wave if you're close enough to the water, destroy that force field, and then get in here and start showing out. Start destroying stuff. Poof. I love it. Yeah, pretty cool. Um, yeah, so I think the black hole works, but one big problem is that this water, first of all, it should not have collision. We shouldn't be able to stand on the water. Easy fix. We're just going to go into the collisions. But I honestly have no idea why it's still destroying the floor or the water. It's mind-boggling, but we don't want that to happen. So I guess now that the black hole actually does work, I do a lot of work, and this is my first time going live. I don't even know why the music keeps cutting off. It's probably some interference with some other audio. All I know is the music is dope. So let's try and figure out how we can stop it from eating the floor, which should not be that hard. In fact, actor has tag. Has tag, and the tag is going to be, all this logic we had to move. We had to move all this logic to the proxy because this can only do one thing at a time. And we want everything that hits the event horizon to have that same logic. So we moved into a proxy that's always being spawned if it touches that begin overlap. So what we're going to do is water plane this. We don't want you to destroy the water plane. You probably need to get a little bit fancier with that anyways. Okay. Just gonna pull this over here. What we have going on is begin overlap, do once, because if you do it more than once, then it just gets wonky. So if the actor does not equal itself, because we don't want it triggering off itself. And if it does not equal the black hole, and if it does not equal the player character, because we don't want the player character to get eaten by the black hole, then and only then we shrink the actors and we have those actors gravitate towards the center. But also, actually, I think I want to put this next. If that's true, if the actor has tag, let's think it through together. So if the actor has tag, we don't want that to happen. We do not want you to mess with anything that has the water plane. So let's see if we can fix. Like I said, this is my first time. We're just giving it a go. Hopefully, it will stop destroying the water plane. Not only did that not work, but for some reason, it's always setting me back to, I believe, 000 in the world space. I don't know what that's about. In fact, the black hole is so perfect that it's eating more than I want it to. It's insane. It works perfectly. More or less, it needs some animation fixes. But it destroys the damn floor.
We need you here to have to take down the force field.
I do not know why. Maybe we need to figure that out. This is our water plane. Now, sorry about that. Tags, water plane. It should not be. If it's true, it does not equal self. It does not equal the black hole, and it does not equal the player character. We're going to move forward. True, if that's true. And if actor has tag, we could always say do not have tag and make it true. But if the actor has tag, water plane, if it's true, do nothing. Do nothing. But I think the problem is that in our black hole, which is also weird because I have this set up like that too with the water plane, is that everything that the event horizon hits begin overlapped actor. If the overlapped actor is the player character, if that equals, if that's true, do nothing. If it's false, keep moving. If it equals itself, because we don't want the black hole hitting itself, which happens. So that's false. We don't want that to happen. If that's true, ignore it. Huh. That should be the same. Yeah. We're setting begin overlap actor, begin overlap actor. So if it's a level bounds, because we don't want the black hole to destroy the level bounds, we don't want it to destroy the force field, we don't want it to destroy the water plane. Let me think that one through. If actors have tags, any of these tags, I think I might just break that up instead of having a bunch of ors. Just have one at a time. That might, Hope it helps. What we're doing next is we're setting the velocity of the black hole to 0. We're adding all those begin overlap actors into an array, and that might actually be the problem. But I don't think so. I think I fixed that. Yeah, so we're doing a for each loop, which basically runs through everything in this array, and we're hooking it in to this exposed variable. But do we have that exposed variable used? So this is an exposed variable. We're spawning the shrink proxy. Exposed variable. It's got the eye open, all that. Again, overlap. I think I know what the problem is. The problem is we're not using this that's coming from the black hole. We're using the begin overlap. We want all of this to be true. Don't mess with it if it's itself. If it's the black hole that's owned by it, which I believe we already have that in here. Yeah. So black hole, this is a reference to self. So that's the black hole right there. We don't want that to trigger anything. We don't want the player character to trigger anything. But I don't think it's deriving. I'm gonna think this one through. Yeah, this is a pretty good live one. I think that talking it out loud actually helps me. But see, that's the thing right there. Begin overlap actor. We are getting the begin overlapped actor. And that's what I'm not truly understanding. Target actor. Maybe we need to set the target actor as the begin overlapped actor. Not the most efficient way to do it. We can delete this right now. But what is our target actor? Let's try this. You're basically just setting this variable so that our target actor, which I honestly do not know what that is, it's just some function that I copied and pasted over here, just so the proxy works properly. So now our target actor equates to the begin overlapped actor on both of these because we wanted both to happen. And our begin overlap actor needs to be absorbed and shrink. Like to hear it, here it go. I mean, and the black hole works too. It's just, I feel like the black hole works, but the floor being destroyed is kind of like really loud. So it's still destroying the floor, but also it is changing the location of the player character, which is very odd. So we are still destroying the floor. So that's what we're gonna work on. This is my first time, so I think I'm gonna sit down and try to think it through, and maybe the next live one try to figure out why it's doing that. I mean, I have the tags. The tags work more or less. But I think it's a blueprint communication between that black hole and that proxy that is supposed to be what sucks up what sucks up, everything. And it might actually also be because I'm still running this logic in here. Maybe I just need to run it all in the proxy, even though the dissipate black hole, that has nothing to do with it. This ain't even hooked up. I basically just copied and pasted this, because that timeline simply can only run on one actor. Crush actor, shrink actor. That can only happen on one actor. So what has been happening is that when you run this logic on this one black hole, it works. But then when it touches another actor, because as you can see, the black hole expands. When it hits another actor, it stops shrinking and crushing the other actor, the original actor, and then it goes straight to the next actor. And if it expands large enough, then it goes to the next actor, and then it might hit the second or the first actor, and it just does. It can only do one actor at a time, which is why we have a proxy. The point of the proxy is the spawn for every single actor that comes into contact with this event horizon. So when it comes into contact with this event horizon, it spawns this, and it eats that particular actor. Then if it comes into another actor, it spawns this again, and then it eats that, and so on and so forth. Don't really understand why it's still eating the floor. And I think I do now. Let's try destroying the actor. Now, I'm just going to say this out loud because it really kind of helps me think things through. But we're basically saying if the begin overlapped actor is level bounds, force field, or water plane, make it false. Then don't do anything or destroy the actor. I think this is supposed to be an and. But not really. No. I don't get that. I don't get why it keeps destroying the floor. So if the begin overlap is the level bounds, the force field, or the water plane, or the water plane is true. Let's test it. But I feel like the black hole is like really working pretty damn good. So that works. It destroyed the actor, which maybe might be the ultimate answer to that. Instead of it eating the floor, but then at the same time, we don't want it to eat the floor and stop. That is something I'm gonna have to think through. That's interesting. I need to get the logic of absorbing and shrinking the overlapping actors with the proxy, expose particular variables like the overlapping actors that are the event horizon of the black hole. See, we have a black hole, and then we have this proxy. The black hole has, code that can only work on one actor. That's why we're spawning a proxy, so that every time that event horizon overlaps, it spawns a new proxy, and the proxy is supposed to make it shrink. That way, it doesn't matter whether it touches one thing or 100 things. It's going to spawn a new proxy that runs that logic. I just ain't figured it out yet. So, thank you for watching. I will think it through and definitely do this again because it's very enjoyable. Loving it. But it's going to take a little bit more finesse. I'm going to have to really I don't know, take a nap, have a beer, smoke a blunt, and think about it. So, thank you for joining me, and we will be back at it soon. You guys have a wonderful weekend, or a wonderful week. I just realized that it is Monday. So, let me try and figure out how to close this out in live. There it goes.